Kevin, when you talk Chicago Bears, it's always about Caleb Williams, the expectations of the team, the offense. You mentioned DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze. Why don't we talk about the defense? I had a buddy of mine was texting me yesterday, oh, man, the Bears, they talk about offense. I said, but there are some names on this defense. You mentioned a guy. This is a strong secondary. I don't know where they rank, but I will put them at the top when you look at the names on this defense, especially at the linebacking position as well. What have you seen from this defense during training camp without the focus so much on Caleb Williams?
Well, to use Caleb as the example, one of the things the defense has done is they've made it really difficult for Caleb Williams all summer long. And that was one of the things that was interesting in the Bills game is you saw the offense playing at a level we have not seen in training camp because it's been so challenging. Yeah. I wonder, Kirk, how many people, maybe it's more now because of Hard Knocks, how many NFL fans know who Jalen Johnson is?
Yes.
How many NFL fans know who Montez Sweat is? Mm-hmm. And those are the Bears Pro Bowlers. Those are the two best players in the defense. Those are the two guys with the big contracts. They went to the Pro Bowl last year. Yeah. And I just don't know how widely known. And it's fair. I mean, Jalen Johnson has been on this team since 2020. They've had one playoff game that everybody forgets about, understandably so. Sweat was kind of the third guy when you looked at that Washington D line that he was a part of. And, he's obviously, Sweat's not like that loud guy. So he's, kind of keeps to himself a little bit. So you're not going to be seeing him on social media all the time. And then you go to that secondary that you mentioned. And it's literally, in addition to Jalen Johnson, I think Kyler Gordon's one of the best nickel corners in football. And if he stays healthy, you should be talking about him being in that Pro Bowl category because when at his best, he's been really good. Who knows who Kyler Gordon is outside Chicago? Tyreek Stevenson put up big numbers in the second half of last season. Jaquan Brisker, again, needs to stay healthy, but he's somebody the Bears believe in a lot. Kevin Byers is one of the more underrated safeties in football. And you talked about the linebackers, too. And Kirk, I don't know if anybody knows this better than you, but people don't talk about off-ball linebackers anymore, right? They don't talk about the guys like TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, who are phenomenal and really came on strong in the second half last season. I just named all those guys. You throw in a Jervon Dexter, and Andrew Billings. These are just not names that a lot of people outside Chicago know about. You put them all together and you're like, oh, wow, all these guys individually are pretty darn good. And with that scheme, you can see how, they can be the ones kind of carrying this team and making things easier for the rookie quarterback.
Kevin, I'll tell you, I'm a big fan of the Chicago Bears defense. And as a team, you see the potential. Like you mentioned it a little bit earlier. There is optimism because you can see this team. Now, there's a ceiling. I think that they can get to 10, 11 wins possibly, but there's also that floor where we can say, man, Caleb could fall flat this year and they win 6 or 7 games. I don't see it that way because I feel like there is just too much talent around this team. But the great thing is I feel like the teams who are on Hard Knocks, the training camp edition, usually find a way to get over that hump. We saw it again with the Detroit Lions a couple years ago. I think the Bears are going to be that team. What are we learning from Hard Knocks that maybe people outside of the Bears organization didn't know because of the quarterback situation with Justin Fields and trying to figure out what is this franchise right now? Who are they? Because they haven't been to a conference championship game in a long time, let alone won a playoff game in a really long time.
Yeah, well, you start with Eberflus, and I think he has shown how comfortable he is in front of with the Hard Knocks cameras there and being mic'd up for everything. Again, not a head coach people knew a lot about. And if you look up Matt Eberflus social media-wise last September, it wasn't a really good look for him when the Bears were going through those really tough situations. And he had to kind of be the voice for the team, and it was an uncomfortable spot for everybody. And now he is confident. He's got the new look. He is comfortable in his position. I think people are kind of seeing the way that he relates to the players, the way he relates to the team and how that might work. And you're learning about, I think people are learning about who some of these guys are. I loved the Jalen Johnson versus Keenan Allen clip from last week because, Keenan Allen, I mean, he should be incredibly well known, especially when you talk about fantasy football.
Right.
But when you play for the Chargers, it can be hard sometimes to break that, break through as being considered one of the best receivers in the game. So I think seeing that Keenan Allen, Jalen Johnson matchup, I think was good for the team. Hey, Kirk, maybe fans around the league have learned that the Bears are just a clean-cut organization because you have not had a cuss word yet on the show. And one of the biggest surprises so far from the Bears edition of Hard Knocks. So you're getting the rookie, just trying to see some of these stories. I'll throw another one out there because he was a big part of last week's episode. DJ Moore is
Yes.
a phenomenal player. I mean, the word I always think of when I watch him run routes is smooth. He just is smooth. And again, you look at that position and you think of the kind of the quote unquote prima donnas. You think about the guys who are always talking. That's just not DJ. And he is such a good player, means so much to that team, great work ethic. You've seen his family. So I think it's nice. That's one of the reasons the Bears were like, all right, we'll finally do Hard Knocks because we got this team that we want to introduce to the rest of the country.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.